Yeah. I actually today was writing out my interview for the magazine in Dallas that's going to feature. And anyway,
Awesome.
thank you. I was talking about you in it and your dedication to health and wellness and fitness, and how I thought that they should interview you too.
That's awesome. That's cool. I feel like I'm blushing over here right now.
Do you
Though
know
you won't be
why
able to
I
see
did
it.
that? Because you're the best boyfriend in the
Because you have a
TVP.
kind heart, and that's really nice of you, and you love me.
You do.
Really, that is nice of you. Like, but that's what we do. Like, even with photo shoots, I like bringing you on board to photo shoots. People see our chemistry too, and they want to bring us on board. Like, we like doing things together. So like, even with photo shoots, I like bringing you on those. And some of my events, I've brought you to, back in Vegas when we're working there. And yeah, it's just what we do.
Yeah.
It's how we roll.
Yeah, I take you when I speak at schools and, work. I'll take you anywhere you want to go, babe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's go to the bank.
We're in the bank.
We are. We live in a bank.
We do. The money vibrations are flowing.
Yeah, you found this place. The money vibrations always flowing through your veins.
That's a good example of when I manifested something really fast. Because we had that conversation with Atlas. That was a Wednesday. And I was like, oh, we should go to Dallas. And you're like, oh, yeah, we should. And I'm like, in 2 days.
Yeah, really, you did.
And then day 3, I found this place. I knew right away. Like, I always wanted to live in a loft. I loved like the feeling of you and I being able to get creative and just not feel like we had to be tied down to like a big home to take care of or driving 8 minutes to get out of our community. Just
Yeah.
it was a beautiful
PTSD moment. No, I'm
home
just
and
kidding.
life we lived in
it's really
Vegas,
nice.
but it just felt like something fresh, and it was really fun to meet your family without you.
Yeah. But they welcomed you with open arms.
They're
and
amazing.
I knew it. I wasn't uncomfortable that they would be, too much or too little, or, it worked out perfect. And yeah,
Well, I mean, if
just
you
knew
went
they
to
would
see
be great.
my family, I would be a little concerned about that being too much.
No, if it was the same circumstance, I think it would have worked out perfectly too.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have. But I do get my being too much, honestly. I mean, you got to spend like a week with my sister. And you're going to get to spend some time with my mom soon. So, yeah, we're all a lot. And then you got to talk to my brother. Well, you got to listen to my brother while he talked to us for probably 45 minutes about his bikes.
All right. So, I'm the type that when someone's talking about something they're so passionate about, I'm all ears because it's the energy that's all consuming to me. Like, I feel the same way about certain things in my life, and when I'm hearing it from someone else, I listen because they're pouring their heart out about something they love. I'm not going to cut them off and be like, all right, this is too much. He's like, I'm going to listen. I think it's amazing because it's something that's seemingly rare these days for someone to open up about something that they love. Like, it's absolutely amazing. So I'm going to listen. That's what he was doing. And so, yeah.
He loved that.
I think it's cool.
He loved sharing that with you. Yeah.
I could tell.
Yeah, and I think when his wife stops listening, he calls me to talk about it.
She has to every day.
And then I'm just going to tell him, like, when I'm done, you know what? I bet you should just try to call Sean right now. No, I love that. I love that about you. Oh, things are just all the things to think about. I do love that about you, and I think about that. admiration you have when even talking to older people, that you feel like you can soak up their wisdom and you're just so locked in and so focused. I think that's a great thing about men. Like, men are good at focusing at one thing. I say that general, but typically men can focus or do open one box and focus on
Well,
one
it
thing.
could be the fact that we're not good at multitasking. I think that's what it is for me.
Yeah.
When I'm doing two things at once, no, it's not happening. You saw me trying to sweep the floor and cook eggs earlier. Like, they were very crispy. We're talking eggs. Though I do like them cooked a little more than
You do.
like the loose yolky type of egg. But, you know, like even something like that, like when my mind's on something, I lose track of everything else. And so I think it might be the lack of being able to do more than one thing that makes us good at
Yeah. I
focusing.
mean, I question as much as I'm like, okay, I can multitask. It doesn't feel good for you when I'm multitasking.
For me.
Like if I'm with you, like, you know, being present with you is important. And so I need to get better at when and how to multitask. You know, when I'm in business mode, I'm handling texts and emails and phone calls, and I got to multitask and researching for something like that. And even that, I feel like, is maybe an area where more focus on the one thing for a period of time might be better suited for my production. So definitely looking at that. You know, I can cook eggs and sweep the floor. That part I got. That type of multitasking we got. But I hear you when you want me to be present and paying attention to that, because the multitasking doesn't necessarily feel good for everybody involved. And I don't really know, do women, women are labeled as multitaskers, but and while our brains are wired for a lot of weird things to connect that don't make sense most of the time, it's still where does the human being do its best? And I think maybe focusing on one thing at a time is a better place.
I can see that. I wouldn't say it's that I don't like you multitasking. That's too general.
Yeah.
I think better stated would be when it interferes with something that we're doing that we planned, and it starts to make things go south in a way. Like, I don't mind you like being on the phone doing something, but if we plan something and it interrupts with the time we're supposed to be there, even if it could be handled later, the other thing, I think that's when it becomes like an issue. Because like we planned this thing and we've, decided we're going to go do this other thing. And I know there's grace and all this stuff, and like, things happen, but, with being intentional about our time together, I think that's a good thing in relationships, and it shows like a sign of respect for each other. And it is an action that can be taken to show that you care. And so I wouldn't just put it as, I hate that you multitask. It's not that. You can multitask whatever you want, and I'm around and you're multitasking, like that's totally fine. But like if it interferes in an inconvenient way with our time together, I think that's when it becomes disruptive, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Better stated, babe. You're the best boyfriend in the universe. Wow, we did great for our first impromptu podcast.
yeah, 46 minutes.
We
we're
talked
kind of
for 46 minutes.
not really talking the beginning. We're check 1 2 and then
10
talking
minutes.
about the volume and trying to figure this out. You're gonna be the tech person over here at the beginning of the podcast, because I'll have to learn it too.
You are. Your
have to teach
arms
me.
look really big.
You already know what I'm gonna say.
What?
No.
No.
think so.
You do always kind of give that little like laugh, giggle thing at the beginning too when you do it. Do it again.
It has to come out natural. Now I'm on
You're
the
like,
spot.
you like giggle, laugh, and then you're like, no. Yeah. I think they look big. Okay. Hey.
All right.
That's
I think
great.
that is.
We
a
have to
good
go now
end to
because
our session. our
yeah,
pod.
we have to go spoon.
I'm the big spoon.
That's good.
You didn't add your part though.
We have to go spoon now.
What were you gonna? What'd you say the beginning of this?
I know, but you have to say your part too.
I'm the big spoon.
Do you know what happens when we spoon?
What?
It leads to forking.
It's as bad as my dad.
All right. You ready
All
to
right.
go
Yes.
fork?
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous.
Let's do it.
Love you, babe.
Love you too.
We did it.
We did.
We're here.
It's done.
It's happening.
It's happening.
I wonder how loud that sounds on the speaker.
It's how Wendy and her are here.
What do we always say when we say goodbye? See
In a minute.
In a minute.
You can remember.
It's like, see you soon? That's not right.
Like,
We
in
should
a minute.
We should end all of our podcasts with that.
In a minute.
minute.
All right.
In a minute.
In a minute.